Drain the swamp. During your pre-election speeches, you famously talked about draining the swamp in Washington, D.C. You explained that corruption flowed freely in our nation's capital and that it would be your job to get rid of those who were bleeding the country dry. You would tell them, "You're fired." People applauded and approved of your message. They were tired of the politicians who seemed to be in the back pocket of some lobbyist or other. They were disgusted by the incompetence and ineptitude they perceived which flowed freely down the corridors of power. They wanted to cut out the waste and bring balance back to our legislative process. Mr. President, since you have been in office, there do not seem to be any swamps that have been drained. In fact, it would seem from my observation that not only has the swamp remained, but in many ways it has gotten larger and swampier. Whereas in the past we only had to deal with the crocodiles and alligators, today, though, we have to deal with sharks, crooks, abusers, and a whole series of other contemptible personalities in addition to the crocodiles and alligators. You've surrounded yourself with people of questionable moral standards, and those few people of integrity who have made it on board are getting out as fast as they can. I'm wondering if, instead of building a wall on the Mexican border, we would be better off building one around Washington, D.C. This way we can keep the riffraff inside and allow the rest of the country the freedom to do well without having to deal with the graft, greed, pettiness, abusiveness, lies, and moral failures which seem to characterize so many of the people on your team. Given the pictures I have seen, it wouldn't have to be a tall and therefore not as expensive as the one you have proposed. I say this because of the large frames many of these men have from all the gourmet meals they have enjoyed at taxpayers' expense. I know the lobbyists garner their resources from special interest groups, but I can guarantee you that the taxpayer is ultimately paying the bill regardless of what it says on the business card. Of course, we would have to set up checkpoints and develop a strong wall security system, because I'm sure there would be those who are inside the wall who want to get out so they can practice their wares on the innocent people who make up this great land. Draining the swamp looks impossible. Therefore, let's just seal it off so it can stop creating problems for the rest of us.